Welcome back, RealTalkTwinCities.com. I'm Eric Purius with Bell Mortgage, along with
Cheryl Kempton, Coldwell Bank of Burnet.
And Donna Quanrud with Coldwell Bank of Burnet.
our final segment. A couple more tasty tidbits. We said goodbye to Sandy Schwartz of SASHomestaging.com in the last segment. Cheryl, you work with her to help sellers list and sell their homes for a good price.
We do.
Wait a minute. We work with her so she can stage our homes that we have listed that we want to sell quickly and for a better price, right?
Much better.
Right.
Spoken like a true professional.
Yes.
Well, I gotta make up for you, Eric.
Thank you.
It's a big job.
No, I'm just, hey, Eric,
Yes, I'm listening.
no more abuse. This is a good one. I got an email today from an agent representing a seller for one of our clients that we're working on together, great young millennial. And that agent said she loves my loan officer.
Wow.
She's been receiving your updates on the transaction and she is so impressed with your professionalism.
Well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. That makes me feel good.
Oh good, that's what we're here for.
And the team at Bell Mortgage should receive credit for that. We do a good job, and it is a team effort, so I'm glad to get some feedback like that. Thanks, Cheryl.
Good, you are welcome. We are just thrilled that you take such good care of our clients.
We try. We definitely try. And speaking of clients and new things, I know that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have announced that there's a new, or actually a return to a 3% down program. We've talked about the minimum being 5% for conventional loans. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
Pretty familiar with that, okay. So right now, Fannie Mae is saying, in fact, Andrew Bonsal, an executive vice president at Fannie Mae, says that they're confident that these loans can be good for business, for lenders, safe and sound for Fannie Mae, and an affordable, responsible option for qualified borrowers. So in other words, say a $200,000 purchase, you can put $6,000 down, which doesn't take quite as long to save up as, say, 20%. In fact, Cheryl, I think you have some statistics on how long it takes to save up the 3% down versus 20.
You know, it's amazing. When you look at the amount of student debt that young people have out there, I mean, what is it? So less than 36% of Americans under the age of 35 own a home right now. And this is the lowest level since the 1980s. 40 million Americans have student debt, and over the past 10 years, that student loan debt has nearly tripled. So if you were going to try to save for a 20% down payment, with an annual savings rate of 5.6%, it would take you 12 and a half years to save for a down payment. And with the 3% option, you could save that in about 2 years. So it really opens up the housing market to young people that might have some other debt, which is really a great investment for them, because when you consider the cost of renting versus owning, and we've spent quite a bit of time on this, this will really be a huge advantage, especially for those first-time home buyers.
And it is for first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers being defined as someone who hasn't owned a home in the last 3 years. So Fannie Mae's program, it's Fannie Mae, it's not Freddie, by the way. Fannie Mae's program will be available to anyone who has not owned a primary residence in the past 3 years. Private mortgage insurance will be required, and you'll be able to get into a home with 3% down, which is pretty good. There are upper loan limits, which I don't know what they are yet, but they're probably, I don't know. You're not. In other words, you're not going to be able to buy a $600,000 or $700,000 home with this program, but that would be unlikely anyway, I would imagine, if you're putting 3% down.
And this is, they're planning to put this into effect in March of 2015?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what you
right.
heard?
That's right. Yeah, and the loan limits would probably be the 417, the conforming loan limit. So, you know, it's going to take care of the needs for most folks that would want to take advantage of that program. So it's exciting. I mean, that's going to open the door to home ownership further, or wider, if you will, for millennials that are, like you say, struggling to come up with down payment. That's actually lower than the FHA down payment. FHA is 3.5%.
Yeah.
So it's 3% down.
So with the interest rates being low,
Right.
the amount of inventory we have out there, it's just really a great time for buyers to get into the market.
That's true, that's true.
And then, we did talk about that mortgage insurance a couple of weeks ago too, and you mentioned that we could have the sellers pay that.
Yeah, it's a very common scenario. It's used quite a bit. Two types of mortgage insurance. Most people you think of, well, how much? I pay $90 a month for my mortgage insurance, so that's monthly. You can also do mortgage insurance in a one-time upfront lump sum fee. And if you have good credit, the factor is typically a little less than 2% of the loan amount, 1.75 for example. So if the seller is paying 3% of the purchase price towards your closing costs, you can take 1.75% of that, apply it to your upfront mortgage insurance, and you're done. You're one and done. It doesn't affect your payment. It's paid for at closing. The remainder of the 1.25% of the purchase price can be used to offset your other closing costs. And we can do a lender credit for you. You can reach me at 952-905-5757 or erictheloanguy.com to go through this kind of thing. But yes, with the combination of a no points with some lender credit and the 3% from the sellers, you can get into a home for 5% down, or 3, soon to be 3, and that's it, nothing more. Everything else is covered.
That's great. And, this is also a great time to, if you're thinking about selling your home. I know this past week I've had 3 sellers contact me. They are ready to get their home sold. So what we're doing now is going through, staging the properties, getting our marketing together, and we can put them on the market right now. I know, Donna, you just had a new listing, and I've been seeing all of the showings that are going on there. So there are a lot of buyers out there. They're looking right now, but if you're thinking you want to wait until after the holidays to actually go on the market, we can still do all of our prep work now. So then January 2nd, we are ready to get that property on the market. And in the meantime, we can start looking for the buyers now, just in case there's somebody looking for your property.
With people having extra time off throughout the holidays, it's a great time to start doing some of that decluttering that we talked about earlier in preparation for that house going on the market.
Yeah, that's great advice. Well, we did promise to talk about tearing down the jail.
Tearing down the jail.
We better bring that up.
Yes.
So Ramsey County, if you are familiar with the jail and the old West Publishing building right on Kellogg, and you can see it if you're down on the river looking at the bluff as well. Those 6 buildings there are owned by the county, and they are all planned to be torn down. The county has approved $11.5 million in funding for this demolition to take those down, and they believe that there's up to $150 million in development potential there. So they are looking for proposals from developers, and they are thinking that it could potentially be condos, apartments, hotel, or commercial. So
the county's going to pay for the demolition of its own buildings, and then it's going to be, I don't know if it has to be rezoned or not, but in any case, it's going to be sold to developers one way or another.
Yeah, the zoning right now would accommodate any of those, the condos, the apartments, the hotel, or commercial development. So there's a lot of options.
So no
there.
micro units with the old
Nah,
cells
they're
or
not gonna
anything?
be,
They're not gonna.
it's not a
that's not-
condo conversion
That's
of
not on the
cells.
table at all?
No.
Okay.
No, it's coming down
Pretty interesting. Do you know when the demolition is slated to begin?
this coming year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'll be something.
Yeah.
Change the face of St. Paul, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I suppose it's not the best place for a jail, maybe a good view for the, well, anyway.
There's
leave
better
that.
use.
We'll leave that one alone.
Exactly.
Thank you for being with us on RealTalkTwinCities.com, and hats off to Sandy Schwartz. She did a great job today at SAS Home Staging. We're here for you, Real Talk Twin Cities. We'll see you next week on AM 1280, The Patriot.